Imtiaz, thank you so much for having me here. It's my first time at the UK-GCC Summit, and I am actually quite surprised by the wonderful turnout and the quality of the private equity firms and the investment firms all together. And I look forward to catching up with everyone during the networking session. My name is Majid Mufti. I work for the NEOM Investment Fund. I want to speak a little bit about what NEOM is. And I think that backdrop of NEOM is quite important for us to first understand. And then we'll talk about NIF, right? Actually, can I have a show of hands of how many people know about NEOM? Okay, so maybe I skipped that first part.
Quite a lot.
That's wonderful. So just to recap, NEOM is one of the most important projects in Saudi Arabia that's underpinning Vision 2030. And Vision 2030 was launched in 2016 by His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, to transform Saudi Arabia from what it has traditionally been as an oil and gas export country to a very diversified economy that has growth aspirations. Right?
It's actually been perfect. So I thought the panels were very well curated. I thought that the people here as well, you've got a lot of decision makers here, a lot of sort of top tier talent. It was a really, really well put together event and very specific to the sectors I'm looking for, and might have even made a deal or two already.
Fantastic. Okay, well, that was going to be my next question. So did you manage to connect with any potentials?
Absolutely, yes. There were a lot of financial institutions here as well, which is fantastic for my sort of line of work. And I think we've already managed to potentially set up a joint venture for a huge fund for redevelopment. So we'll see.
Really interesting. I think having sort of dual industry topics really, and I find that there's a lot of investor base do both the real estate and the energy. And then also in terms of the content and the people who are attending the conference, we have everyone from investors to asset managers to developers to people in tech and all the adjacent. So I think having a well-rounded conference actually, lends itself well to the people who are attending.
Excellent. And also in terms of connecting with people, did you manage to connect with potential clients, or are you looking to invest into certain companies that came here today?
There's definitely companies that we can use as part of our projects or investments. I don't know whether there's a particular company, but I will say there's some people we met that there's a certain deal that both of us were looking at, but in adjacent ways, not competitive. And so that's interesting. But no, I think there's been a lot of connectivity and a lot of follow-ons to have post the conference.
Brilliant.
Summit was excellent. There was a great kind of cross-section of different investors here that we managed to connect with quite well. And we came here first time. I think the interesting thing about my panel was that everybody was from a different jurisdiction, right? We had UK, we had the Nordics. I was representing Switzerland. We had a US. And so it was an interesting take on essentially the same issues. Some of them more global, some of them more specifically jurisdictional, but everybody had their own take on it because from 4 different continents or jurisdictions, really, right? So that was interesting. Yeah.
Thank you for having me here. And no, it was a great experience. Good people, great contacts, and I hope I can join next year the GCC and UK Summit. Would be great.
It's been fantastic so far. It's been a day full of panels and meeting with lots of different investors, people from different backgrounds. I've met people coming in from the US, Europe, and the GCC. And it's been great to talk about energy transition and real estate opportunities and these geographies.
I just witnessed your panel discussion. How was that for you?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a panel focused on energy transition and AI and data centers demand, and how we can sort of target those with the smart energy solutions. I had a great set of panelists who are all very, very knowledgeable on the topic, and we had a great discussion. And I think
I thought it was very wonderfully organized. Great quality of speakers, great networking opportunities. I met some really, interesting people in terms of big corporations, but also investors and VCs. So, driving the conversation forward when it comes to green energy as well as real estate. I think it's super important to have these conversations. And it was just interesting to see what's happening in the market. What is the dynamic? How they're changing? And what's coming up next?
A diverse range of opinions, a diverse range of experience, great people from all walks of life. There's people from not just the finance industry, but, a number of people. I think it's credit to the organizers for bringing such an interesting group together and to be able to share opinions that really matter in today's day and age. And hopefully we can take the networking to the next level and connect with everybody that was here today.
Personally, just to kind of see their success in the future. But yeah, there was quite a lot of people and a big network here.